When is the best time, or when is the optimal time to actually do drainage on yourself or perform on yourself?
Depends on what you need, because if it's for a woman that you want to reduce weight or reduce measures, it's better to do it early morning while you're fasting, so that way you can go to the washroom and drain. But if you want something for relaxation, sleep better, to forget about all the work and relax your nervous system, it's better if you do it before you sleep. And also for women in perimenopause and menopause, I also recommend to do the massage before sleep, because they usually wake up to pee 3 a.m. or they usually wake up with a lot of hot flashes, or also because they lose the libido. So if they do it before sleep, they're gonna be like ready for whatever happens.
What worked for you to say, okay, I need to listen to my body now?
I usually say to my clients and my patients that you have to listen to your body every single time. Like if you look in the mirror and you see that you have dark circles under your eyes, that's not normal. Mm-hmm. That means that your body needs lymphatic drainage, needs movement, needs the massages, or need more sleep, or need more water. Also, if you have a headache, for example, everyone has headaches, but the normal thing is to just pop a pill, like any analgesic that you like, and you don't pay attention. But who here asks yourself, like, why do I have a headache? No one. You just like take a pill. So imagine coming from zero to being in Toronto, coming from zero as an immigrant to Guatemala, and to Guatemala to here. Recently, Kajabi, the place that you have platforms and online classes, give me a reward because I made $1 million in revenue. Imagine US dollar, not Canadians. Imagine from a little girl that was born in Nicaragua to the woman that is here. Like, cannot tell you how many no's, rejections, doubts, failures, imposter syndrome, and how many times I'm like, no, this is not gonna work. But then I have to rewire my brain, and I'm like, no, focus. You're not tired. You're committed to your dreams. And if you're not committed, no one else is gonna be.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the first in-person podcast with my good friend Carolina Yarinova, author, mom, just a superstar in every avenue. Really proud of her journey, of how far she's come since the last time we spoke in 2024. And this is just now to catch up between those 2 years, and now she can share how much she's accomplished with the book and just everything else in life. But help me welcome her back to the show, and yeah, let's have a good discussion, and let's get into it.
Oh, thank you for having me back. When you were saying 2024, I feel like years and years ago. It's 4 years, but I feel like 10.
Yeah.
I think that the process when you're want something and you have a goal, sometimes it feels longer than what it actually is. So I'm so excited to come here now with my baby.
Yes.
The Power of Lymphatic Drainage for Hormonal Balance, Menopause, Mental Health and Beauty. It's a book that it's the honor of my journey after I had a Bell's palsy in my right side. I was a single mom of 3. As I mentioned in the podcast before, I was working like everyone else, doing everything that we can to maintain our house, to pay the mortgage, bills, also to be there for the kids and succeed in having everything for them. For me, my kids are always been like the first thing. And it's about that journey when I just didn't listen to my body, and suddenly it just screamed, and my screaming was a facial paralysis. I didn't want to stay deformed, so I managed to specialize in doing lymphatic drainage, face yoga, and now I have my own methodology in lymphatic drainage and face yoga, which is called the face healing method and the lymphatic glow. And also something that I would like to mention before anything is that this book is also a gift to my mom. My mom passed away at 55. She passed away of stomach cancer, and she was a normal woman that always put everyone first. And we did see a lot of, now that I think back, I did see a lot of symptoms before, but we never pay attention because as women, we have to like just do, and we never have pause to just breathe and acknowledge how are we feeling, right? So if anyone is there listening, you have to take a time to breathe, think what changes you can make in order to hear your body first, instead of waiting for me, like, or my mom, that she had cancer and I had a Bell's palsy. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Important thing you mentioned there is to listen to your body. So many of us, we take it for granted when we in that motion or in that phase. We just keep going and going because our bodies are able to. And then when something happens, then only we react. It's very difficult to also stop. I know for myself as well, when you're feeling good, you're feeling 100%, and you feel like you have the energy to go, keep going. I don't think in our cultures and where we are, both of us, where we were brought up, we were taught to slow down and take time for yourself. And now that both of us, obviously yourself, for those who don't know, Carolina is from Guatemala originally. Now, same like myself, immigrants one from South Africa, one from South America, connected in Canada, who would have known? But no, I think my point, what I'm trying to come across is, when is that moment to say, okay, I'm going to listen to myself now and take a break? What worked for you to say, okay, I need to listen to my body now?
I usually say to my clients and my patients that you have to listen to your body every single time. Like if you look in the mirror and you see that you have dark circles under your eyes, that's not normal. That means that your body needs lymphatic drainage, needs movement, needs the massages, or need more sleep or need more water. If you feel bloated, then that means that maybe you have a stagnation on your belly.
Right.
Maybe your hormones are without balance. I don't know how to say unbalance. And you need to focus on having a break, on lower down the cortisol, doing your proper massages. Also, if you have a headache, for example, everyone has headaches, but the normal thing is to just pop a pill, like any analgesic that you like, and you don't pay attention. But who here asks yourself, like, why do I have a headache? No one.
No one.
You just like take a pill. Then you have like a probably congestion or heartburn, or you have a stomach ache or something, and you're like, oh, I eat something that it was like wrong. But then you eat it like 5 times, 7 times, because you constantly have the same pain. It doesn't get better. No, so I know that because we have schedules, we have work, we have bills to pay, we have everything going on, going. Oh my God, it's so hard to say, okay, I'm going to take care of this. And especially if you have a goal. But the thing is, and I want you and everyone to get this message, is if you don't pay attention to that pain, that thing that you're watching in the mirror, that thing is going to come bigger. Instead of like putting under the rug, it's like a nice snowball. Like it becomes bigger and bigger. And one day your body is just going to explode. And then you're going to have a disease, or you're going to have something that may not be like treatable or something, but hopefully is. But what I'm trying to say is that as a pharmacist, and I also have a degree in pediatric oncology, and I quit my 8 to 8 p.m. because I didn't like the approach of the pharmaceutical industry, because they're just program people to just use one pill, use this medication, but not to prevent or listen to your body. So as a pharmacist, when I had the Bell's palsy, being a pharmacist for Pfizer, one of the top companies in the world, what was the thing that I could do, or what was Pfizer going to do for me? Just have a pill.
Yeah.
When I could listen to my body, take a break, breathe, exercise, do my lymphatic massages to prevent that Bell's palsy in my case. But there's a lot of people that has like diabetes, has thyroid issues, has insomnia, has perimenopause, menopause symptoms, have brain fog, dementia, Alzheimer, and everything is related to lymphatic drainage, because lymphatic drainage is it's a technique that you use your hands, breathing, and exercises to move your lymphatic system, which is the one that clears your body from all the trash, toxins, fat, bacteria, viruses. So imagine if you don't move that system, it's like you're meant to have a disease. It's like that's what it is.
Yeah. And also, a lot of us are born with genetics that come from our parents and our previous generations. And then also somehow it gets activated. Like somehow you can't really run away from it, but there's ways that we can manage it as well. Because like you said, sometimes we just pop a pill and we think it's gonna be okay. But also you need to do the holistic approach as well. And it's easy. Like I've watched your videos about lymphatic drainage, and sometimes we think to ourselves, okay, why didn't we know about this back then? And it's just simple things like, as a sports person, recovery was very important for me, because after the game is when you have to really take care of yourself. And then stretching, ice bath, rest, even sleep is very, very important. But we take it for granted when we're young, because we think our bodies are just gonna carry us through our lives just in that same way. And I'm sure in that moment when you were going through Bell's palsy, I'm sure there was a moment where you felt like you wanted to give up.
Oh.
And talk us through how that felt in that moment when it just didn't seem like there was light anymore.
So I think that before the Bell's palsy, I was in a very toxic relationship, the hardest one, and it was with a partner that really, really didn't value me. And I remember that I couldn't ask for anything, and I had to do everything that he wanted. It was like a big narcissist. So I was holding all those emotions inside. Plus, I had a lot of demand in my work, because you, as a sales representative, especially for a big company like Pfizer, you have to meet these goals, right? So every month I was like, oh my God, the sales are not good. I'm not going to have my commission. I have to pay rent. What am I going to do? I cannot ask the kids' dad to help me. I was on my own. So I remember from that moment, I was already giving up on myself. I was like, what if I just die? Yeah. I swear, like I said that. And then I was, oh my God, I cannot even die because my kids are alone. So what are they gonna have after me, or where they're gonna live, or like I cannot even have that luxury. So I kept going, and I had a pain in my head, like a headache, every single day for 15 days. Wow. That's the first signal of a Bell's palsy. Mm-hmm. And I had my eye blinking all the time, and I didn't pay attention. That's why I say, like, if you look in the mirror and there is something wrong, your body is speaking, it's a symptom.
Sí.
And then the heart, like the pain, the headache, also, like it was another symptom. Then I remember I had anxiety attacks during the night, and I couldn't sleep. So imagine all the things are piling up, because you have a headache, you don't sleep, you don't rest, then your eye is blinking, then the stress, and then the people, and then you don't have a partner that supports you, so you have to bear everything, the weights of everything and everyone on your shoulders. And I was like, oh my God, I really cannot do it. And then I remember when I woke up with my Bell's palsy, I said, like, really? God, universe, are you gonna do this for me, to me? Like, I have been working, I'm a good mother, I'm a good woman, like, I'm generous, I help people everywhere, and like, you're gonna do this to me? Might as well, I just like, give up. Like, I felt so bad that I remember that I was in the floor, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is unbearable. Mm-hmm. But I remember my mom's words all the time that I feel in that moment, in that same spot. Like, every time that I feel that I have problems, or that I'm like being in a rough place or dark place, I always remember my mom's words, that it was like, if you're in the floor, there's nothing beneath.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
you can always go up.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially one thing that I say as an entrepreneur, because my Bell's palsy showed me the resilience. And then I never imagined having this business or having all the things that I do now. But a part of that Bell's palsy situation was always in my business with when things didn't go well.
Right.
That probably you're not going to have a Bell's palsy, thank God. But if you're in a dark place because you don't have money to pay your bills, if you don't have money to, I don't know, send your kids to school or put food on the table or whatever, or pay, or you're in debt and you can't pay your rent or whatever, remember these words. You're in the floor, but there's always a way up. And another thing that is really important that I keep saying to myself, when you don't have anything to lose, then you can start doing everything you want.
Oh, yes.
Because you don't have expectations.
Exactly,
you don't have
exactly. Yeah,
feelings.
yeah.
Like, what is the worst? You're already in debt. What is the worst thing that you can happen?
Exactly.
Like, you have a Bell's palsy. What is the worst that it can happen? Just like, fix it.
Yeah, exactly. And most journeys begin with trauma. I know it's not a nice thing to say, but there's something that happens in our lives that triggers that action. You know, that I never realized it. And I kept listening, I kept seeing this quote come up so many times now within the past actually couple of days. And so many people, their projects or their focus or something was born from a traumatic event. And it just doesn't make sense, but it makes sense in a way because when we're in our comfort zones, we think everything is okay. We don't really push ourselves. There's no ambition to really go for it. But when you put in the fight, you have to fight back. And that's where I feel like your story is one of resilience, passion, drive, energy, and just a willingness to make it happen for yourself. And that's commendable because not a lot of people will actually take what they've been through and put it into a constructive modality, I would say, for life. That's just what it is for me. Like, you've done something extraordinary with building something from the ground up. You know, and they say self-made. Yes, self-made is a term because we have help all around us. You have your husband, you have your kids, you have partners, but 80% of that is you. And you have to say, yes, I've done it. And we have to keep telling ourselves that because every day is a challenge, right? Not every day is the same. We're going to wake up and be happy and say, I've done it, I'm here.
So funny.
there's some days where we're going to be, I'm tired, I can't do this anymore. But we always remember our why. And is there a specific why that you keep going every single day?
I think that if you have a trauma or you have a difficult experience, for instance, I think about the Bell's palsy, but also I think about that breakup that I have, and I think about my mom passing. Like, there's so many things that pile up, and I think that it's really important that you never see yourself as a victim. You have to take accountability of everything that is happening is for you, not to you. And I know that it sounds cheesy because you listen to that every single, and everywhere, you know, but it's really true that the lens where you see the stuff are the things that are already, like, it will help you to manifest the next stage in your life. For example, as you said, like, self-made I think it's 95.
Okay.
Because I want to tell you something that is like, no one is going to believe in what you do. Mm-hmm. And just in acknowledging that, it's like, if no one believes in you and you're the only one who can see it and believe it, you really have to be convinced that you can do it. Yeah. And there's so many days that you are tired, that you have self-doubt, that you have the imposter syndrome, that you feel that it's not possible, that you feel defeat. But one of the things that I always say to I like to rebrain or rewire my brain. And I always say, like, I'm not tired, I'm committed. But I'm committed first to me, to prove me that I can achieve everything that I want, the life that I want to manifest. And sometimes, believe me, my husband is listening there. He's always saying like, you have such a big life and such a big dreams. Like, why are you not? Sometimes I feel, and maybe it's not accurate, but sometimes I feel that he wants me to be average. And I cannot even process being average, because I know that my purpose is to teach women about the power of lymphatic drainage. How can it heals their body, the energy, and also to empower them to go beyond what you have been told. Because I was born in Nicaragua, not even in Guatemala. And if you know, Nicaragua is a communist country. So imagine coming from zero to being in Toronto, coming from zero as an immigrant to Guatemala, and to Guatemala to here. Recently, Kajabi, the place that you have platforms and online classes, give me a reward because I made $1 million in revenue.
Wow.
Imagine US dollar, not Canadians. Imagine from a little girl that was born in Nicaragua to the woman that is here. Like, I cannot tell you how many no's, rejections, doubts, failures, imposter syndrome, and how many times I'm like, no, this is not gonna work. But then I have to rewire my brain, and I'm like, no, focus. You're not tired. You're committed to your dreams. And if you're not committed, no one else is gonna be. No one cares.
It's your baby, end of the day. You have to take care of it. And just, you triggered something within me. My previous guest, I asked, do you see yourself as the face of the brand? Because for her, it was more about providing the services and not being the face of the brand. And I said, no, you should own that. You should be the face of what you are building, because people need to know who's building that. It's not vain, it's not ego. You are just confident, like you said, it's 95%. If you don't believe in it, who is going to believe in it? When you think about your own journey, how far you've come, and reflecting back on where you thought you were, and how now where you said, you've made $1 million in revenue, you never ever thought of that is going to happen, right? With your book, you've also connected with a lot of people who you've never thought you probably connect with, and vice versa. When you decided to write the book, what was going through your mind to say, hey, I need to put this pen to paper?
For me, I wanted to give something to the world. Like, I don't even make money from the books. The books are basically at the cost, because I think this message and this book is something that every woman should have. And also read it and learn that in every phase, the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50, after menopause, you have the power in your hands. That's why it's called the power of lymphatic drainage, because you have the power to change anything in your body, any disease, anything, any symptom, anything that you're like experiencing. So my book for me is like the gift that I want to leave, the legacy that I'm leaving in the world. So it's really weird, because I always said one day I'm going to write a book about my story as from Nicaragua to here, which I think that's gonna be the next one. But I never thought about starting about lymphatic drainage, but it has touched so many people in different ways. Every time that I do a lecture, that, by the way, I keep posted because I'm gonna do one in Indigos this year.
Okay.
So I'm going to invite you guys. But everyone that I do the lecture, people, like, it's just crying. It's just like feels so emotional, because it tells the real woman journey. And as you were saying about your guests, about being the brand in your face or your own brand, I think for every woman is important. Because I think that this book has success because it's not as simple about just lymphatic drainage that you can find in Wikipedia, ChatGPT, or whatever. It's about the story of a real woman, how she deals with the body, the symptoms, how she is a mom, and the stress that everything goes around it. She pours into the lymphatic drainage every time that she does a massage. It talks about how your hormones shift and makes you understand that you're not a victim of your hormones. You're not a victim of your own body. You have the tools and the power to change everything. And when you talk about your own story, as I told you, any book can come, and I don't have any competition because it's my story, it's mine, and no one else has the same experiences that I have. So, for example, I always tell all the entrepreneurs, because after the Kajabi thing, the 1 million, the reward that they give me, they have been asking me to do coaching about online businesses and everything. And I always say to women, you have to be the face of your own brand, because they're not buying your brand. They're buying your story.
Yes.
They're buying who you are. And they did a study in New Balance. They were doing, 70-30 about the marketing, and they were doing 70 on selling, and 30 about telling a story. And then they switched it to 30% of selling, and 70% of buying telling the story with athletes that represent the brands. And when they did that, the revenue exploded. 18 months after, but you saw the way peak in the everyone is wearing now right now because of that change. So right now, the most important thing that we have is our story, and women have hold for so long everything that we feel, because we feel little. We feel that we have to blend in, that we have to fit certain standards. And I think that that's one of my biggest powers, that I'm here to tell women that don't settle for less and be whoever you want. And I'm pretty sure that if you set your mind in it, you will manifest that. But you have to have consistency, as you told
that's
before.
Very important. To show up every day is important. And even if you show up maybe 5-10 minutes a day, if you don't have the energy, that also then contributes towards the bigger goal in life. And you said lymphatic drainage is it only for women? Or I know a lot of men now getting into wellness and looking after themselves, skincare. I have a skincare routine, guys, every day, every night. And thank you to my wife for, introducing me to that practice, because back in the day it was just generally wash your face and that's it. But now you've got, specific scrub, you've got retinol, you've got all those different kinds of things, because I have hyperpigmentation because it's genetic. So it came out of notice, but now I'm managing it with a skincare routine, and it's self-care. That's part of it as well. So, and lymphatic drainage, sometimes I watch your videos and I'll do it to myself too. Does it work for men too?
Yes, we have the same lymphatic system, men and women. The only thing that changes is our hormones. I like to have women, because my community is women, but they have been told me so much. When are you going to do men? When are you going to do? And I have clients, I have really celebrity sports that do the lymphatic drainage, especially if you run and you feel the lactic acid.
Yes.
It will help your recovery faster. Also, if you have lack of sleep, and of course, if you want to do sport, if you want to really develop results, and if you are a high performance athlete or businessman, because now I feel that business is like being a it's you juggle with so many things that, so you're a high performance entrepreneur, businessman, you have to do your lymphatic drainage, because otherwise I don't know how you manage to have all the stress and how to release all the stress. For real, it's insane.
Yeah. When is the best time, or when is the optimal time to actually do a drainage on yourself or perform on yourself?
Depends on what you need, because if it's for a woman that you want to reduce weight or reduce measures, it's better to do it early morning while you're fasting, so that way you can go to the washroom and drain. But if you want something for relaxation, sleep better, to forget about all the work and relax your nervous system, it's better if you do it before you sleep. And also for women in perimenopause and menopause, I also recommend to do the massage before sleep, because they usually wake up to pee 3 a.m. or they usually wake up with a lot of hot flashes, or also because they lose the libido. So if they do it before sleep, they're gonna be like ready for whatever happens. So it's a really good
Guys, get ready.
recommendation. So if any guy is looking at this video, pay the class to your wife,
Yes.
and you're gonna see the results. You're welcome.
Before we jump back into today's episode, a quick favor. If you're enjoying the conversation, please take a moment to subscribe, follow, and share this podcast with someone who could benefit from it. And if you haven't already, leaving a rating and review helps us reach more people and continue bringing you meaningful conversations each week. Thank you for being part of this community. Now let's get back to the episode.
Holistic modalities. And because there's so many influencers out there now, and the market is really saturated, because if you open social media or even just the internet, there's a health coach for this, there's a nutritionist for that. What is lymphatic drainage? How does it stand out from the rest of what other people are offering?
The first thing that it makes my methodology different is that my background is scientific. I have a degree of chemist and pharmacist and a degree in oncology, pediatric oncology. Also, I have an expertise in lymphatic drainage and also in face yoga. And I think that experience, having the Bell's palsy, is like if someone can like recover their face
sure.
after that paralysis, that shows that it actually works. But it's true what you say, that the market is really
Flooded.
It's flooded about everyone can do anything, but you always have to see and watch how they speak, watch if they are referring to studies, if they're using the lymphatic system. I always put even I have a bodysuit that replies the lymphatic system as it is. And also see the testimonies also. I think that is so important to see how the maneuvers are, because once you will know when something is working, and trust also your instincts, because there's things like, oh, this is not working for me. So step back and research a little bit more, and you will see.
There's a lot of quick fixes nowadays. How long does one have to, perform lymphatic drainage on themselves to start seeing results?
They see the results in the first session.
Oh, wow, okay.
The first sessions, I even do sessions at the spa. They're 1 hour, and you can see the before and after. People always call me and said, oh my God, I sleep so good. Or, oh my God, I feel that I went to the washroom really quick 3 or 2 times, and there were people with stagnation. And yeah, of course, the industry, the pharmaceutical industry, well, that's how it makes the money. It's always a new molecule. There's always a new thing that you can use to use it fast, but the thing is that maintainable? Are you gonna generate health in that road? Because I have a lot of patients that are with Ozempic, as your example, and one of the things that is happening is that they lose a lot of weight on the face. So they call it the Ozempic face. Also for women in the organs, they have also loose fat, and then the lips are hanging. So there's a lot of things, the repercussions if you lose weight really fast. If you're in perimenopause and menopause, you're going to have osteopenia, that is the loss of muscle. Also, you can have deficit with your bone structure. And my main thing is, maybe because I lost my mom at 55, that I want to be for my kids longer, so I can enjoy everything that I praise, everything that I pay, enjoy my grandkids.
Exactly.
I don't know, for me, that's my dream. So I think in the future, okay, if I take a molecule like this, okay, I'm gonna look thin, but I'm gonna have the strength to lift my grandson when I'm older, without breaking my hip. Or how do I want to die? I think all the time, maybe I will die at 89, throwing myself from with a parachute or something, like throwing a skydiving at 80 something, or I don't know. Or I want to die in a bed and with a remote, or someone cleaning my diaper. That's not for me. Yeah. But you have to think, no one likes to think like that, but I do think the ways that
it's normal. You have to. I have been thinking about it too, because
skydiving is a good.
Yeah. one day, someday. Someday. My wife was like, no, you go. I don't want to do that. You go by yourself. I'm like, okay, I'll find a way. I'll go and do that. But no, you're correct in saying that, because now that I'm also, in the middle of life and like at the peak, like we're still young adults. I would say we're still young adults. We're not old. We're not young, but we're in the middle. Mobility is very important, because I struggle, not struggle, but at times I do have a bit of lower back pain, and for so many years I just never knew how to manage it. And every time that something happens to me, I would just like try and muscle relaxer or just massage or something to ease up the pain. But I went to a physiotherapist just over here on Queen's Quay, and she introduced me to just basic things I could do every single day. So that when you wake up, because you're stiff when you're sleeping, your body just contracts. So every day it's hip thrusters, mobility, stretching, and windmills with the legs, just to open up this part of the body, the hips, so that during the day you'll be fine. And I've been thinking about what you said long term. Like for me now, the goal is to be able to lift a spoon, to be able to eat and go to the bathroom myself, and not depend on anybody to do that for me. Okay. So our mindset has changed of how we want to live our lives. And I think introducing lymphatic drainage into that practice will just improve long term. Like you can still go and run, go and cycle, swim. And I think that's the goal now for most of us, well, for myself and yourself, is just to be able to live life to the fullest without, going through those baby phases like how we were in our adult life.
And also when we grow old, like our immune system needs more support, that the lymphatic system is in charge of all your immunity. So that's why if during COVID we saw that all the people that were older, they didn't have the immune system really active. So lymphatic drainage can prevent all the diseases. Imagine that. And also, if you are having vitamin D that is so important and you're not doing your lymphatic massage every single day, then you're not absorbing vitamin D because it's absorbed by the lymphatic system. It moves by the lymphatic system, vitamin A, D, E, and K. So you're deficient if you're not doing that. So, and I can talk like for hours and hours of what lymphatic drainers do, but...
No, it's important because we live in a country where we don't see.
Yeah.
The extended winters is really long, guys. You have no idea. Like by January, February, we're like, no, I'm done now. Please, can we have some sun? Please?
Yeah. That's
so every time the sun comes out, hence why Canadians and everybody who lives in the north or has no access to a lot of sunlight all the time.
That should be my flyer here. All Canadians should do lymphatic drainage because we don't receive sunlight for so many months. That should be my flyer. Did you write it down?
So that's why we see so many people outside, right? When the sun is out, we bundle up, we layer up, and we make sure we go out because it's important. Like you said, as you get depressed, then depression takes over a lot of the time. And yeah, we've witnessed it firsthand, but you only learn from it if you go through it yourself. We can talk about it, till, like you said, for hours and hours, and we won't get bored of what we do. But there's also there's many people out there right now in a bit of a challenging mode and challenging time in their life. And I'm sure while you were writing the book as well, you probably had writer's block. Did you have writer's block?
It's really weird because I did it.
Okay, good.
I said one day, I'm going to write a book. And my kids and my husband saw me and like, you're not going to write a book. And 2 months after, I had the book.
Oh, wow.
My daughter had an accident skiing and she was at the hospital, so I had to go and visit her. She was laying, and I tell it in my book, she was laying in bed with a big surgery that she did in her knee. It takes like 6 months to recover. We spent like 2 months in the hospital, and I was writing.
Because I saw her, was lymphatic drainage also part of her recovery? Because I saw she recovered very
really
quickly.
Fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge part of the
We were
recovery.
impressed because on social media she was posting her journey, and And we're like, no, man, that's a very serious injury. You don't recover that quickly.
Yeah, she had 3 fractures in the leg and has a screw and a plate. So it was like crazy. Like, thank God the leg was still, it survived. But yeah, I don't know how I do it, but I think that I focus on the things that I can control. So sometimes, yeah, it takes me like a whining moment on the day, but then I'm like, just move, do something about it, because like, what, you're gonna stay whining all day? So when I was watching her, I was like, if she can bear with the surgery, I can write this book. It's like, it's not point of me saying like, oh, I'm tired or whatever, putting excuses. I was, if she's strong enough to deal with this situation and coming out of this situation, I can write this book. But those are the really things that triggers me to become better. I think I think that trauma like pushed me to the limit, and then but I think that that's a good thing, because everyone experiences trauma.
Yeah, it's what we do with the trauma, right? That matters. Because in the hospital, like every morning you wake up. When I was in the hospital, every morning you wake up and it's mandatory to do exercise. Like, it's a non-negotiable. Like, you have to move your body to start firing the neurons that make you feel good. Sitting here today, I feel grateful and that we both took that opportunity to do something with our traumas and to make a better impact not for just ourselves, but for the world. And sometimes we'd like to see the results instantly, but we know it takes a very long time to keep doing and doing and doing. And in that moment, you realize what you're doing is impactful, and you take the win from that. Was there a moment when you were writing the book, when you felt this is the chapter that I fell in love with?
The chapter that I think it hit me, and it was when I was narrating the Bell's palsy. Just the moments when I woke up with the face, and my youngest son saw me, and every time that I read that part, I cry, because I was in my room and he came from going with the dad for the weekend, and when he came back, he saw my face deformed. And he ran to the washroom to throw up. So in that moment, I just was like, oh my God, it was so painful that I said, I'm never gonna make him like this pain again, not to my kids. Like, I'm not gonna. It was bigger than me. It was like everything that I experience affects my kids. So I have to be healthy. I have to be wealthy. I have to be seen. I have to be motivated, because everything impacts what your kids are receiving. So that chapter was one of the hardest, because it was like I was doing the chapter and I was crying, and every time that I read that part, I cried. Like, it's
impactful. It means something to you.
That was a moment that I think it was when I said like, that this is it, I have to change my life. So that chapter is the one that is really deep in my soul.
Nice, beautiful. And now that you have your husband as well, like, you've got extra support now. You're not going to do it alone, and that's important as well, because you know you don't have to do it alone, and you've got your family here, and it's taken a long time to get everybody together, and it just makes it even sweeter, right? To share it now with the loved ones that you hold dearest and to your heart.
I love that, because I think that if I didn't have anyone to share, it will be missing something. It's not like everything that I have achieved for me. It's always like to feel it that I can be that person for them, and that you see everything is possible. Now you do whatever it takes for you to have your dream, because I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. No, dreams do come true when you work hard for it. And I think that's the theme of the podcast today, is never dream small, always dream big.
Yes.
Because you never know when it will come true, but when it does come true, it just makes it just feel a little bit more sweeter And as a sports person, I made the mistake growing up, and I'll admit this to myself, of not putting in the extra hard work that I needed to do. Yes, I was motivated. Yes, I was talented, and I did put in hard work. But in order for me to get to that next level, I needed to do extra. And I feel like I'm doing that now with the podcast and with just helping people, is that I am going above and beyond when I feel tired, when I don't have the motivation. And I think that is where my message for whoever is trying to build something is to do that extra little work, even if it means waking up 6 a.m. to do a podcast, of doing it at 7:30 p.m. at night after your day job. So similar like today, it's 7:40 p.m. in Toronto, and we have a full day of work, and you're doing this. What I want to share is, or what I want to ask you is that how many days and nights did it take you to actually get motivated to say, I'm just going to keep going and I'm never going to give up?
How many days? Every single day, I want something new. And sometimes things doesn't work the way that you want, and then I have to change the strategy. So probably in a week, I changed the strategy like 6 times.
Wow.
to make one right.
Yeah.
But I think every single day I have to work. I don't even think about a motivation. I just say it like, are you committed or not? Do you want this or not? And if you want this, just do the work and it will come. It's like I always say to my husband, I'm always building the rails.
Yes.
So one day the money train or whatever you're dreaming, the people inside the train that you want in your classes, or I don't know, what are you putting in your train? For me, it's books. It's like having more people in English and Spanish to know the power of lymphatic drainage, or I don't know, whatever dream that you want. But you build the rails, and one day the train will show up with everything. But if you don't have the rails built, so that's not gonna pass. So
speaking of building rails and moving forward, what does the future hold for Carolina, and what's next?
Next is I did a documentary.
Oh wow!
And I presented in the Toronto Film Festival.
Oh wow!
So I'm waiting on the result. But I want to do more coaching classes and empowerment classes, because I think that's the next step.
Nice. Oh, that's amazing.
So see you in 2 years.
Let's not wait that long.
No, in 6 months.
6 months. No. As we wind down the podcast, and I always like to ask my guests, like, there's something now that you could share with the audience and the listeners out there of just motivation and building something. What advice? What's one thing you could share with them?
One of the things is that just get used to not be right all the time. Get used to fail. I swear, like from 10 times that I fail, there's like 9 times that I fail, 1 that I achieved. Always change tracks really fast. Don't get like, because I did this, and like judge yourself or have all the guilt. Just step up and do something different right away. I think that's one of the most important things. If you stay there, maybe you're gonna quit. But if you're like, okay, what can I change? Every single experience is just teaching you a lesson of either that work or you have to improve yourself in something. So just do the work and continue, and you're going to see that you're going to manifest the life that you want.
They always say fail forward.
Yes.
Speaking of 2 years, what is one thing you would hope that we'll be celebrating, say we reconnect after 2 years again?
In 2 years, I want to celebrate being the biggest speaker in lymphatic drainage in English and Spanish, and travel around the world doing that and empower women to have that tool, not only to have health, but also to have mindset that when you move your body, you move your lymph, you move your energy, and you're more confident to achieve anything that you want. So it's a mix between the two worlds, the science behind the lymphatic drainage and the resilience that I have built for so many years. So I want to be that for women.
Amazing. Thank you, Carolina, for making this such a comfortable first in-person podcast. Couldn't have asked for a better guest. But if you want to get in touch with Carolina, how can they get in touch with you, and where can they find the book?
The book is in English and Spanish in Amazon. You can find it as The Power of Lymphatic Drainage. My name is Carolina Yarinova. You can find me on social media as the Lymphatic Queen in English and Carolina Yarinova in Spanish.
Thank you so much, Carolina.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. And you guys, please subscribe to her channels, follow my journey as well, and I can bring you a lot more influential people like Carolina. So until the next one, thank you guys so much. Stay zen.